Hello everyone, I'm sure you guys are doing good. So welcome back to your channel, and today I have picked one topic which is called probability. Well, it's a very interesting topic. It has nothing to do with the core hard mathematics. It's all about reasoning and logics. So people who has missed out maths in class 11th and 12th has nothing to do, don't have to worry, don't have to worry about this topic. You just have to be logically good, that's all. Okay, so I'll be actually discussing a couple of terms that are very essential to understand the probability, because I will be using these concepts in the upcoming questions. So first of all, when the word probability comes in front of you, it's all about chances of occurrence of anything, that's all. Now when I use the word anything, it sounds unmathematical, so let us use the word event. So the probability is defined as occurrence of favorable event. Now event can be of two types: one that you want to happen and one that will happen which you don't want, right? Yeah, so there is a set of events that we call as sample space. So when we talk about the events, it is the outcome of some experiment. I'm not talking about any scientific experiment. It could be like throwing a coin. So the outcome could be heads and tails. Let's say I want to have a heads. So my favorable event is getting a heads. So event precisely means something that you want. Very simple, right? Alright then. I have written a couple of terms over there. The first one is the random event. So what is the meaning of random event? So it is an experiment, whose outcome is a set of well-known possibilities. So if you want to write, just you can make a note of this one, I'll just keep this wire away from me, So an experiment whose outcome has to be among a set of event which is well known to us. For example, if I throw a dice, I know the outcome can be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. So the possible outcomes are known to me. They has to be from one particular set. So that's called random event. In this random event, as I told you, there is something called favorable event. Let's say I want to get a 6. So start my Ludo game. So my event is getting a 6. All okay? Now later on we'll discuss what is the probability of you getting a 6, right? Alright then. Next is mutually exclusive. Okay, understand this very clearly. So the set of events are said to be mutually exclusive if outcome of one, if one is happening, it means other will not happen. Is that okay? Let's say for example, so if you want to write, you can just make a note of this one, a set of events in which occurrence of one event means another will not happen. Another will not happen. Means they are dependent upon each other. Let's say for example, if I throw a coin and if tails comes, it automatically means that heads will not come. All okay? So that is the meaning of mutually exclusive. It means a set of events. So getting heads and tails are mutually exclusive events. If one has occurred, it means the other not going to happen. All okay? Let's move on to the third point, equally likely event. So an experiment in which, as we know that every experiment has well-known outcomes. So in an experiment, if all the outcomes have equal chances to appear, alright? Let's say if I throw a dice, chances of me getting 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 or 6 are equal, right? Until Mama Shakuni is playing this Ludo, I'm sure you have heard about this Mahabharata. That was a biased dice. So when we talk about the unbiased dice, in which that's called random event. I have not biased my dice, it's unbiased, that's called random event. So if I throw a dice, I can get 1, I can get 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. And each of them has equal chances to appear, right? That's called equally likely event. Now independent event. Like over here we had mutually exclusive, which I can say dependent event, and this can be called as mutually inclusive independent event. In this, the probability of or the chances of occurrence of one event is not influenced by any other event. They're free, they have equal chances to happen. They are called independent event. Let's say, for example, let's say a couple had a kid, and there was a girl. It does not mean that the second kid cannot be a girl. Agree? It could be a girl, it could be a boy also. So having second kid cannot be influenced by the first kid. The first can be a girl and the second can be a girl. The first can be a boy and the second can be a boy, isn't it? Yeah. So the events in which a set of events in which occurrence of one is not influenced by the previous event. समझ में आ गई? Now the conditional probability. Okay, actually over here I have written this PA/B. It means the chances of occurrence of A is controlled by a previously occurred event, which is B. Are you getting the point? It means the occurrence of A is not independent. It depends upon the previously occurred event, which is B. Let's say, for example, so I'll just repeat one more time. So the probability on which occurrence of A is controlled, defined by influenced by the previously occurred event, which is B. For example, I'm throwing a dice. I'm throwing dice 2 times, or maybe I'm throwing 2 dice simultaneously. Both means same. I threw 2 dice, 2 dices, and I want to get sum equals to or more than 7. That the sum of the 2 outcomes, sum of both outcomes should be equals to or more than 7. This is what I want. Okay. Now let me define the event B. So event B is an event in which I threw the dice and I got, let's say, 4. In the first throw I got 4. Now the next throw should be in such a way that I should be getting sum of these, the previously occurred event B and A, and the sum should be equals to more than 7. So the probability, the event A, the sample space of event A can be the sample space of event A, also the number of event A. I can get a 3, can be a 4, can be a 5, can be a 6, isn't it? It shouldn't be 1 or 2. Or else if I get 2, 4 plus 2 gonna be 6, and my event will not be completed, event will not be satisfied. So you can see the occurrence of event A is defined or decided or influenced by the previously occurred event B. बात समझ में आ गई? That's the meaning of conditional probability. Now the next term that we have is odd for and odds against. I'm sure you guys must have heard about the cricket matches where we say, okay, the chances of India winning the match is something and chances of, let's say, England winning the match is something, and they give certain odds. So what happens if some event is happening, there are going to be chances that that event will not happen, isn't it? So here we have odds for, means we think about an event in positive way, its occurrence going to be my favorable event. Odds against, I don't want India to win the match, that's going to be odds against. So how do we write that? Odds for should be, that is in support, will be written as the probability of happening of that event over probability of not happening of that event. That's called odds for. Then we have odds against. That will be given as the probability of not happening of that event over probability of happening of that event. That's called odds against. And now since we're talking about the odds, we have one more term that is called expectations. Alright, so let us know quickly about the expectations. So expectations is given as probability of happening of that event times the reward that you'll be getting if that event occurs, if that event is a successful event. That is given as probability of event into rewards on that event. Very simple. Let us understand this with an example. If I say okay, I bought 20 lottery tickets out of the total of 100 lottery tickets. So there was some lottery happening around, which had total of 100 tickets, and I bought 20 out of those 100. And I'll be getting rupees, let's say 500 if that lottery ticket strikes. Now I'm gonna set some expectations for myself, that will be given as the probability of happening of that event into the rewards which I'll be getting for that. Okay, so since I've not taught you how to find the probability, let me teach you that, then probably we're going to get back to these questions and we can do it. All okay? So by now we are done with these couple of terms which are really important. Now we'll see how to solve questions of probability and what is the meaning of, and or. Alright then, now we're going to talk about how to solve questions of probability. How we can actually represent this in terms of mathematical formulae. Meri baat samjho. As I told you, the probability of chances of occurrence of anything, right? It means what I want over the total possible outcomes. So in the very simple language, the probability is defined as the number of ways in which what I want can be fulfilled over the number of total outcomes. Number of total outcomes. That is a probability. So you can say the probability is all about want by the total. Sometimes you might see an event which needs to be done, probably both, if I have both the events to be done. And sometimes there are going to be events in which even if you succeed in doing one, you'll be happy, your event is complete. So that is the bottom line of this probability. We have to understand the meaning and the uses of and the meaning of or. If you can understand these two things, I'm sure you can solve all sorts of probability questions by getting them to the basics. So let us first understand the meaning of and or. For example, from Bangalore, let's say I want to go to probably, maybe Patna. So what I need to do, I'll have to choose one way of transportation, right? Maybe I can choose to take a flight, right? Now I'm using the word or. I can choose to go by, let's say, a train, or I can choose to, let's say, go by car. I have three different possibilities, three different means of transportation to reach Patna. Okay, if I want to choose the flight, if I want to take a flight, I first have to reach airport. And from there I'll take a flight and reach Patna. I've used the word and. I'll not be able to reach Patna until I reach airport and then board a plane. I take the flight and then I reach Patna. So if I want to reach Patna, I have to do this event and this event, both. Dono hona chahiye, or else if you miss the flight, you will not be reaching to your place. Or I have to go to railway station and then I'll choose we'll take a train and I'll reach Patna. Baat samajh mein aa rahi hai na? Likewise, I'll go to a taxi stand, or probably I can book some Ola or whatever, and then I'll reach Patna. So the idea is, I don't have to take a flight and a train and a car all together, isn't it? I'll not be transporting myself, one arm here, one leg here and one body here, So these are the events which need not be done all together. Occurrence of any of these will help me to complete my event. But these are events which need to be done. वो होना ही है. If I want to have a complete event, so my event is reaching to Patna. These are the sub events, small events. Now, if you have the word and coming into the picture, I'm going to replace that by multiplication, and if or is coming in the picture, I'm going to put them as a plus sign. Simple si baat hai. Let's have an example based on that. I'm sure you guys have understood the meaning of and or. So if events need to be completed to have a complete event, that is the and. We replace that by multiplication. Okay, let's have a small example. Before that, let us do some easy questions based on this, the basic fundamental theory of probability. Okay, if I throw a coin, I have the two possible outcomes, that called sample space. Sample space. How many outcomes are possible? Two. It can be a heads or it can be a tails. I want to get heads, that is my event. You need to understand what you want. I want to get heads. All right. How many heads are possible in a one coin? Of course, one heads. And my want can be fulfilled in single way, that is getting one head. So the number of ways in which I can get heads is 1, and the possible outcome is how much? 2. And these are equally likely events, both of them going to happen in equal proportions. So that's going to have 1 by 2. Let's say I have example 2. I have let's say 4 red markers and let's say 5 black markers. Now the question is, I'm gonna pick 2 markers from this bunch of markers, and I want red and a black. Understand this? I want red and black. So my event will be fulfilled or completed only if I have one red and one black. अब देखो कैसे करते हैं. Since I'm using the word and, it means multiplication. Agree? So first of all, I would actually answer my question in the word format itself. I do not have to go to the math right away. So I did not mention that I should be getting a red at the first place or black at the first place. Agree? These are very simple, mistakes which people do. So I'm sure you will not fall in this trap after this question is done. So my answer to the question is, I can get a red. Of course, I need to get a black, so I'm going to use and. Now this is not the only way to get both the markers, right? So I have or, either red coming at the first place, black coming at the second place, or the black coming at the first place and the red coming at the second place, right? So I have both and or coming into the picture. Okay, how many ways I can get a red markers? That is my first thing which I need to do. So if I look at this formulae, the number of want, how many red markers do I have? I have 4 red markers, and if I get one among these 4, I'll be happy, right? So the number of ways in which my want can be fulfilled is 4. Out of how many? Out of 4 plus 5, 9. All okay? I have this and means multiplication. How many black markers are there? We have 5 black markers. Out of how many? Since one red marker has been already picked out and I'm not doing any replacement, so the total number of markers which is left in the bag will be 8. So this is one of the ways in which I can get my event completed of getting a red and the black one. Well, that's, as I told you, that's not the only way. Probably I'll be having one more ways, or means addition. Here we have a black marker. How many black we have? 5 out of 9. We have red as 4 markers. Since one black marker has already came out, I'll be having only 8 markers over there. Rest is a calculation, right? So this is a good example of seeing both and as well as or. बात समझ में आ गई ना? So we should not exclude any possible outcome. Now, why this is important? Let's say, for example, I have probably some 20 boys in my class, and let's say 15 girls in the class, and among these 2 boys I have, let's say, A and B randomly. If I'm picking one person from the class, let's say I'm talking about a particular boy, the chances of A getting selected in the first pick will be how much? Because he's, let's say, probably his name is anything, you can say, let's say A for Abhishek, that's my name itself, So Abhishek getting picked in the first selection will be 1 over 35 because I have only one Abhishek in this class. Alright, let's say, and then comes this guy B for anything you can choose to have, it will be 1 by 34. Because Abhishek has already came out of the class, so his chances of getting selected will be 1 by 34. So with this example, you can understand the probability of getting selected at the first place is less compared to the probability of getting selected at the second place. Why? The simple answer, the number of sample space, the total number decreases. So coming at the first place and the coming at the second place are not equal. So that's why we should not ignore these basic things. All okay? So yeah, that was about and, or, and the basics of the probability. In the next video, I'll be coming up more exclusive questions on the probability, and then we'll discuss one more thing which is called at least, which is one of the very important aspect when it comes to any competitive exams. Alright then, for now, keep practicing, just revise it, and I'm sure you guys have seen my permutation and combination video. If not, then go and watch it, because I'll be using those concepts in the questions of probability in the next video. Okay, that's all for now. If you like it, do share and subscribe, and thanks for watching. See you soon. Good night.